All right, we're doing another show. We're back in the saddle. I have John Orphan, who's the best. Hello, ladies and Neanderthals. This is my secret weapon when I make my music videos. When people compliment how great the videos are, it's because of this fellow right here. John Orphan is a brilliant director of photography and an awesome dude.
Thank you.
He's done commercials for Sprint, Jones Jeans. He's Xbox, Toyota, Cadillac, Jolly Rancher. You've done like fucking music videos for Chevelle. That's how we met. 3-6 Mafia, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, the band Failure, Filter. You did the feature film The Black String, which I'm in, I think, for a second.
That's right, you are in that.
And
That's
starring
right.
Frankie Muniz. And recently, during this pandemic, shot for Lexus, Facebook, and is prepping for a feature film. But we're not supposed to talk about that.
That's true.
That's right.
That's not.
And you did, and then you helped.
Non-disclosure agreement. Yeah.
Yes, and then you helped Perry Strong, who we love.
Oh yeah.
He did you have to check out. I'll have him on as a guest. We love you, Perry.
Yeah.
Perry helped edit the Cock That Heals.
Oh, that's right. He did do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So John hails from Michigan. You're there. At some point, you're like, I'm going to grab a camera and just master being a cinematographer. How does one do that? Like, at what point?
Well, I was kind of, interestingly enough, I was obsessed with photography. Well, sort of. It became an obsession after I took a photography class in high school, and we had a quiz one day, and I didn't study for it, so I cheated by writing down all the answers on my shoe, on my Converse All-Stars. And in writing all those answers down, I had committed them to memory, so I didn't even need to cheat. And after that, I started getting interested in photography. So cheating is what got me.
That will lead you to success. That'll bring you to Hollywood.
Yeah.
How I got through college.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had an eye. When did you realize you had an eye for photography? Did you at some point you're like, hey, I want to do this? Like, when was that?
I don't know that I ever recognized anything like that. It was something that I was really passionate about. Like most of the things in my life I didn't really care about, and this is something that I really loved. So it was an obsession of mine. Whether or not I thought I was good at it or not didn't matter. I was just mostly really into doing it for myself.
Would you consider yourself like a cinephile? Were you like a fascinated?
Yes, very into movies.
Here, scoot up a little bit so
Okay.
you're closer to the microphone.
Okay, I guess I'm not talking loud enough.
No, you're good. You're doing great. Oh, so you would consider yourself a cinephile?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of movies growing up.
So one of the things about John that was so amazing knowing you is when John would take a scene in a film, and then he would research to figure out how they lit it. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand when somebody if you're a young person out there and you want to win at life, you figure out something you're into, and then you become a master. And then what you do is you obsess over it, and then you try to figure out what all the other brilliant people do. I would be on a commercial, and John would have me taking photos of the director's lighting scheme,
Yeah.
which is amazing. Yeah, a real artist, brilliant, one of the best, the best. So when I was first sought out to make these crazy songs and music videos, I would just hand people a camera, and I was making all these like little shorts, and I shot my first music video, The Pussy Pounder, and I had like a real executive producer friend that was kind of helping me with it. And then I edited the whole thing. I put it out there, and it was for me. It was what I was trying to do, was trying to make like a viral music video. But I knew I had to up my game, and so I prayed I needed a cinematographer. I needed a director of photography, and I need someone to understand what I was doing. I'm doing humor and satire, which usually back then a lot of people didn't put any detail in the art direction, and so I needed to find the perfect person that got the humor, but also understood. I wanted to make beautiful images with satire, just to add layers to it, so it was even more. You didn't know if it was real or not. Add layers of absurdity. So I was making these crazy videos. A friend of mine was friends with the band Chevelle, and I got to make 2 music videos for them. I Get It and The Fad. And my friend who's the director and my friend who's a director and the executive producer, Sean Foster, has a director, and he had John was a DP. And I remember him saying, "This guy's brilliant," and that's how we first met. And then I randomly ran into you, and then I was like, "Hey," and then I was like, "You remember me?" And then like we talked for like 5 hours about all sorts of shit, and then I showed you the Pussy Pounder, and you got the humor, and you're like, "I want to shoot all your stuff," and it was the creative gods brought us together, and that's what gave you. Folks, the dry humping peeping Tom, I like the idea that I like to divine. And so yeah, we've had a lot of fun. We've done some really crazy. Well, the first one I did a song called "Molested," which was based off of like I was doing a sober companion job, and it's like I had a conspiracy theorist client. And so I kind of did the character of like a conspiracy theorist. Was the song "Molested"? Everything's gay when you've been molested, which was his line to me, which made me laugh.
Oh my god!
Which it's terrible. So that was the hook, which was I wanted to make music videos and songs that would never be made. Like a record label would never go down. It would never be made, and I wanted to do it so it looked as if it was as professional as possible. So we did that, and Estradi helped us with that. He was a friend of mine. And then we did, the first one that we really did was like the dry humping peeping Tom. Estradi helped on that a little bit too. And that was hilarious. And we got your friend Jody Broadhurst.
Yeah, Jody Broadhurst.
That was great.
Yeah. She was staying with me at the time.
Yeah. Humping the bear.
Yeah, that was
How was that experience doing like legitimate work, and then now you're filming a guy humping a massive teddy bear?
Well, yeah, good question. It was amazing because at the time I was going through a major transition in my life, and I'll just say, I was just getting sober, and my whole life was changing completely, and so I had no more social life. All my old friends were gone, and I was pretty in a dark place when I met you. So when you came to me with some ideas about funny, I was willing to do whatever. And I didn't really have a lot of work at the time. So I was, really, really open. And the stuff that you were doing was finally putting a smile on my face after months of just being like, the world is dark, the world is gray. And finally, and so it came at the perfect time. It was a great medicine for me.
Beautiful. Well, you were, a savior to me as well. Like, it's funny, if you're out there and your life is a nightmare and it's not working out, you need to record songs about like being a peeping Tom. You're addicted to humping a teddy bear. It was funny when I recorded that song, I thought it was really funny when an artist would do a song about like they were struggling with addiction or something, and I thought, well, what would be like the creepiest, weirdest thing that someone is trying to overcome? And I thought, well, if someone's a peeping Tom, that is definitely like probably the creepiest. And I'm like, I had to make it funny somehow. So I thought, what if he's addicted to humping this fucking huge teddy bear? Like that was his first sexual experience, and the only way he could, that was his secret. And so that was the basis.
That was one of the most fun things I'd ever been a part of, because conceptually, I remember when you pitched it to me, just the concept alone got me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in. I want to see this. I want to see this. And I could tell, I didn't even know you that well at the time, but I could tell by your personality that you were going to go for it 100%.
Yeah.
Like you would be dry humping a bear
fully fucking
on
commit
somebody's
to that.
front lawn.
Yeah.
For sure. With no fear.
No.
That's the thing that's interesting about you is you have absolutely no fear whatsoever.
No, if I'm gonna commit to doing, because this is I'm a professionally trained actor. I'm a comedian, a Second City. I did the whole thing. You got to fully commit to whatever you're doing. That's the way to do it. It was really funny when that music video. I was trying to figure out what my next music video was after Molested. And I think this is really funny to talk about how I'm praying for stuff. And I was praying to like a higher power to show me what I should do next in my car. And I go around the corner and I wanted to do the dry humping peeping Tom. But the problem was I was trying to find a huge teddy bear. but they were like $500. You know, and I'm driving around some piece of shit Toyota Camry. I'm barely existing. And I end up, I was supposed to meet a friend for lunch. I missed a turn. I ended up going down an alleyway. And there's this that teddy bear is sitting in the alleyway. And I remember I asked the guy, these 3 guys were sitting there, and I go, would you guys sell that teddy bear? How much for the teddy bear? And the guy goes, $15. And that's exactly what I had. And it was funny because I was meeting a friend for lunch, and that was my money for lunch. But he was like, dude, I got this. It was like a perfect moment. Mm-hmm. So that set up the Dry Humping Peeping Tom. There was a funny moment when we were shooting, when we shot the stuff at the Ramada Inn in the conference room. As I was getting all my shit together to run out, I lived on this place on Cahuenga, and a lady moved in across the street, and she didn't have her drapes up yet. And I'm running down the stairs with my huge teddy bear, and I look up, and she's completely naked. And I was just like the idea, like I didn't have time to get into character and start humping it, but I just thought, how funny is this that I'm playing this fucking lunatic who's going to go to like a 12-step meeting because he's trying to stop humping the bear, and it's just like the universe was just, I don't know, it was like telling me like you're doing the right thing.
The law of attraction.
Yeah.
You were manifesting.
Yeah.
You were manifesting a dry humping situation. That's amazing.
I forgot. And we came home from the last night we were shooting it, and I had to park up the street, and I'm walking down, and she was hooking up with a guy. She was, this is terrible. He was standing, and she was giving him an oral situation. I sort of walking down the hill, just like this, what is going on here?
Wow.
Now you'd have the phone. You could live stream that, like talking about making the video, and this is what a weird fucking. So that was fun, and that video, it was funny when I recorded the song.
It's important to mention, none of these videos, including this one, especially this one, was there any budget whatsoever.
Yes, I don't.
We're like
think anyone understands that.
$0.
Yes, there's a big thing where people think that
not even a penny.
Yes, people think that I have like a record label or I'm independently wealthy. I got a whole thing going on, and they don't understand. It's just us two and some other people here and there participating because it's hilarious. And then all the people that were in the music video are just random regular people. Some of them aren't like professional actors or whatever, which makes all of it that much more beautiful. Like putting stuff together that wouldn't get made if we had to like sign releases and do all these other crazy things which you would normally do, and that would cost a fortune also to make the video like that. I remember when I recorded the song, I sang it like it should be sung, and I remember listening to it in the with this guy who's like this vocal teacher who's also a music producer. He's like probably, I think, like a real Christian type character, like a good guy, you know. And I remember, it's not crazy enough. It needs to be crazier. So then I did the performance where I'm just fucking going off like a lunatic because I figured that's what the character had to be. Yeah. And he's sitting behind the console when I came out of the recording booth. And he didn't even know. He didn't know how to fucking process. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, it was just so good. And I remember he said sent it to his guy to mix it, and the guy really loved it, which he couldn't figure out. Like how he couldn't understand what I was doing. It was fucking so funny.
Some people's brains, as it processes comedy, can't really wrap their head around dry absurdity.
No, they don't understand
really
satire.
They don't understand satire. And I noticed that happens a lot in this town. Like I'll even, like you and I will talk, and we will be bantering back and forth and laughing a lot. And if I do that with other people, sometimes they think some of the things I'm saying are serious, and they're like, they can't believe
anymore. There's there's no humor anymore.
Yeah, it's a very strange time we're living in. But just in general, it's just like people, I think, have a hard time comprehending satire.
Well, it's because now life is satire.
Yeah.
Now it's like like, of course you're humping a bear outside of a thing. That's who you are, right?
Yeah.
Like no. People, a long time ago, people used to do stuff that was funny for someone else to laugh.
Right.
It's
right.
How's it de-evolve to that place?
I really desperately wanted Dry Humping Peeping Tom to be a movie.
It has to be.
TV show.
It's going to be
It needs
at some
to be.
point.
I don't know if
yes.
it can be at this point, but I mean,
Yeah, he's troubled with
pretty
his
hilarious.
addiction. Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy's a trouble.
this guy's struggling to get over his addiction.
This is what I figured out a long time ago. I specialize in white exploitation. Like a black exploitation film, because all the characters are these white,
Like the worst part of white culture.
Yeah,
That's
that's my skill. I came to Los Angeles to play pathetic, odd weirdos in movies, and these are and I'm white, so that's what you do. So I'm doing the white exploitation. So that's what
You're just pulling from your well of experience.
Yes.
The things you've seen along your path of life.
That's right. I collected all these wonderful characters and experiences from all the emotional vampires out there, all the crazy people. So that video was good. The best, there was a guy who left a comment. And nothing makes me laugh harder than somebody leaving a comment who doesn't get the humor and thinks it's serious. Someone left a comment. I should have looked it up. It's something like, he goes, this would be worse than having a porno of yourself. How does this guy even go out in public? Does he even have friends, if he has any? Like, as if this was dead. It was so good.
Right.
It was like, oh my God, I had tears in my eyes. It was so good. Just to think that somebody's so perplexed, like this person's dead serious, is so fucking funny. So that was a wonderful music video. And then the next one was Balls, where I was trying to learn how to write a hook. Yeah. So I'm still learning how to do music and stuff, because I'm not a real recording artist, and that's kind of a funny story. Like, I met Kyle Mormon, who produced that, who's so wonderful. That happened by accident. And I was at the gym one day, and I was trying to figure out a hook. And people would always, this one friend of mine who's this nightclub promoter who's really funny, he used to say, Hilliard, I'm blowing up. I'm blowing up. And I just thought that was the funniest thing. Like, someone would say that about themselves.
Right.
So I was like, I'm blowing up, and I kept figuring out like, and I was like, then I got like AIDS in the 80s. Because when in the 80s, in the 90s, like in the 80s, if you were to have sex, you were like, basically you have AIDS. So the fear was everyone is going to die of AIDS. Mm-hmm. So the most famous popular thing in the 80s was AIDS. So it was so then I figured out the hook. And then when I come up with a character. Sometimes I come up with a character, then I do the song from the character's point of view. That one, I figured out the hook first. And then I figured out who would this character be. And I thought it like a transvestite prostitute that went with women. Because the more specific and unique it is, the more fascinating of like to me, like a photograph of like, how the fuck did this happen? Mm-hmm. Like, how did this all come together?
Yeah.
This guy's niche. Yeah. And I remember telling you, this one took a second for you to get on board, because I kept telling you, like, dude, this is going to be the greatest music video ever. And I think you just thought I was basically like just... like, he's just videotaping me making out with girls. I think you just figured that was basically like, here we're gonna go.
Yeah. It was a little. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen here, but what else am I doing?
I think it's like the second day or this. You finally started to go like, I really think this is going to be the greatest music video ever.
Yeah. And honestly, what, working on those things really kind of helped me out a lot, because we didn't have. Like I said, we had no budget. We're working with very few lights. I basically had an airy kit, and we needed to make the production value work. So we had to pick our locations carefully.
Yep.
And then we had zero time.
Yeah.
And I felt like, well, I'm doing this for nothing and spending a heck of a lot of time, and it needs to look at least watchable.
Yeah.
So it forced me to learn how to work really, really fast. God, and that was so it was like extra. It was like going to the gym. Like, it was like being in school again or something. It's like, okay, here's a whole fucked up situation. Make it look as good as you possibly can in 3 seconds.
I would go over to a makeup artist house friend. Mm-hmm. I would get a friend to do the makeup. So I would go in there, come out of her place, and then have to drive to the location in some crazy facial makeup thing. I'm just thinking.
Oh, and it was that's the other thing that people asked me. I was like, whoa, like, it was just the two of us. There was nobody else. There was literally nobody else.
Yeah, so if you are a fan of the videos, if you realize these are being made, these are like, $50,000 music video made with two people. The guy in front of the camera and the guy shooting. and we're running around doing everything, which
I don't recommend, but
yeah, no, but it was
it was a great crash course. I mean, it really definitely kept us busy.
Yeah.
When there was, I mean, yeah, it was like something to look forward to too. It was like, oh my God, what the fuck am I getting into this Tuesday?
You know what? Some of my favorite memories are recording songs in a recording studio, but like when we would shoot something and then we would come back and look at the footage and just die laughing, like, because it was just so fucking ridiculous. Yeah. Oh my God, so many good. So that song was the first one where I had like a hook, and I figured, I learned that whole thing, and and then we got Steve-O. That's right, Steve-O was in it.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. I befriended him, and he wanted to be in the video, and I was like, okay. And then I didn't really know I didn't even know how to like suggest him to do something, because his whole world was so crazy to me. Like, how do you ask him to do one of his stunts? It's not like I could say like, hey, and he suggested like I could jerk off on the back. And I was like, well, we can't really have that music video. And then he suggested I could pee on myself. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then I was, there's a golden shower. Like as if we put this whole thing together, and it just actually kind of happened in the moment, And
it really did. The whole Steve-O pissing on himself in the shower.
Yeah.
Happened in the course of 4 minutes.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's how the music video ends.
He really wanted to jerk off into his own face.
Yeah.
Or whatever he wanted to do. It was something really...
He had to jerk off in the back of the car or something.
He kept pitching that.
Yeah. I was like,
I could do this. I could do this. And it all involved some sort of...
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to put that in a music video, but...
What impressed me is that he was really going for it, and was completely... That guy... Like, you have no fear. That guy really has no fear.
Yeah, he has the ability to do it with, like, I couldn't deal with the pain situation.
Yeah.
He can put himself in a situation where he'd hurt. I don't have that level. I couldn't jump off a 5-story building or doing a flip or lighting myself on fire, hammering a nail. I mean, that's a whole other level of skill set. I mean, it's impressive. He's hilarious.
But additionally, and this, I don't know, was surprising to me working with him. Also, a total gentleman.
Yeah.
Incredibly intelligent.
Yes.
Really interesting conversationalist.
Yeah.
All around kind of amazing dude.
He needs to do it. He needs to be in a real movie where he's like Burt Reynolds, where he played the stunt man. Do you remember when Burt Reynolds was a stunt guy?
Cannonball Run?
No, it was that old movie where he was like...
The Fall Guy?
I can't remember the name of it.
Remember that show, The Fall Guy?
Yeah.
With
Burt Reynolds.
Lee Majors.
Fucking the best.
Yeah.
So we did Balls. That was Julie Boleen. I should mention her. Those were her locations. So the whole thing with trying to make, which John taught me a lot of, and I learned a lot of this early on making videos, was trying to have, if you're out there and you want to make cool music videos, the location to me is like casting a celebrity. It's like one of the most important things is having really good art direction, hence this ridiculous apartment. But like so finding that became like a mission. And I remember I befriended Julie Boleen, who's an amazing tattoo artist now. But
she's genius. Yeah,
she put her and her friend put their apartment, because they were going to make it for a set they were going to rent it out to do adult like videos. That's originally what they did with that when the place that we shot the Cocktail Heels. And then their other apartment we shot. So 3 different places that she lived. Like, we ended up using those locations, which with John's skill to make, shoot something to make it look amazing. And then her, basically set design, made those music videos. It's hard. It would be hard to pull that stuff off, to put all these things together. That's why they're so beautiful, and they mean so much to me, because to how hard it is to make something that is any kind of uniqueness, and to do something with literally no money and make it look fucking amazing. Everything from the conception of a song to a video, and pull all the pieces together. And it's the most fun you can have. Like I'm hoping that this podcast needs to become so huge that I can do this every week, make these videos. And so, what am I doing this? I need to be in a recording studio, and we need to be shooting new music videos.
That's hard work. I think, one of the biggest takeaways, I mean, I kind of knew this already, but I mean, is leaning into what was available to us is what made those things work. Rather than what I see a lot of people doing is trying to force fit,
Yeah.
their concept into their resources,
Yes.
which may not fit.
Yeah.
And instead we were just like,
You have to
okay,
go. Yes, you have to go the
here's
opposite
a
way.
generalized idea of what we want to do. What can we make
Yes.
this work with? And then we kind of bend to the whims of the world.
Yes.
Like being like water, like going around the rocks and
What do you have access to?
yeah.
But if you know the character is, then you just get to put your character in that situation, and it will, and then you can figure it out. So when we shot, the Balls video was great. It was amazing, and then we did the Cock That Heals.
Was that next?
Yeah, the Cock That Heals. Well, we did some other videos that weren't music videos. We did like Body Oneness we did it a long time ago.
Yeah,
on
that's
the top
great.
with Becky.
Body Oneness is amazing.
Body Oneness is like basically if like there's a whole community of people in Topanga Canyon that are like these like health spiritual gurus that are just hippie nut jobs, like completely exaggerated
I know
characters.
some of those people.
And they're amazing. And so that was Body Oneness, and there was Becky coming at me saying like we should need to do a video together of the and she improv. We did all that like improv.
She was great. Whatever happened to her? She was actually very good in that video.
She's brilliant. And then she like disappeared. And I don't know. Once you go off social media, I don't know what happened to her. She's amazing though. Beck, if you're out there, I love you. Where'd you go? Yeah, that was a funny fucking video. And she just guys having fun, making each other laugh. And then we did the Rock Powers.
Another one of my favorites.
Yes, and Oliver Kapatsky.
Yes, both of those.
And they're really
I
good.
really also wanted to see more of those. Desperately. I was like, these need to blossom into something that I can watch on a regular basis.
And that became, because I had characters in my life. I'd always have like a male character that was like a manipulative, crazy person. And I had to figure out what my part was. Like, why am I attracting these characters in my life? Which is a line from Oliver Kapatsky. So I had this book. I got these books about like manipulative people. And so my way to understand stuff and do something is if I did them as characters. So both of them are equally manipulative psychopaths, but just two different sides of a coin.
Yeah.
And I figured out so once I figured out, I don't ever have those characters in my life anymore. So it helped me fully understand by becoming their energy and then doing it and then like performing it. I figure out, oh, this is what that energy is. So I'm not. But both of those were great. Oliver Kapatsky is Victim No More. He's the person who's been constantly everyone's abused him. He's always the victim. He probably goes into every situation, and but literally would take people hostage and just tell them these stories. Would be his character. And then Rock Powers is your sociopath, win at all cost, kill. he's
basically Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's like the American dream. You know, just
yeah.
if you want to win in life, you just fucking buy now.
It's like a reality TV producer, a strip club owner, and something else.
So good. Great. So yeah, then we did the Cock That Heals, which was shot over a period of time, and then you were getting busier and your life was going on. So what would happen is I'd have to wait for a window when you would be available to work.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, all right, I have tomorrow, then I'd have to get all my stuff together and just race to whatever. That location was a friend of mine where I go down the spiral staircase. And that was a funny thing where they were moving out. My friends moved out. And so they had like there was like that night we basically snuck into the house with the key and like shot there. And then Sarah Moore, who was in it, she had trouble getting her car out of someone parked behind her. It was like a whole ordeal. If you remember that. And then that was kind of like, and then if you know what the character, you just get there and you're like, well, this is of course what this character's doing. He's like, dancing machine, forcing her to watch him dance. The Cock That Heals. And we shot that at the Santa Monica Pier. We had a DSLR, which was at the time this was a newer development in the world of video making, filmmaking, was a DSLR you could shoot. So it looked like you were taking pictures. So I'm there, stealing locations. We were at like the Ferris wheel. I'm in a priest outfit. Do you remember how ridiculous?
Yeah, this is like 10 years ago now. I can't believe how long ago this was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, you were a priest outfit and we got on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, Ferris wheel. I did a bunch of rides. I remember some people were eavesdropping. And I was like I was just to fuck with them. I was graphically talking about me hooking up with a woman in my priest outfit. I thought that was entertaining myself. That was great. And that was so psycho. That fucking like character is so good. And then, Ashley Pilgrim. She's brilliant. And people would ask me like, how do you get these people to be in your videos and stuff? And people would pitch me. I would run into people and they would be like, I want to be in your next video.
What's crazy about that video is it's very provocative, actually.
Yes.
And nowadays it's almost dangerous.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would do that.
You wouldn't be able to do that
right
now. The interesting thing was that every person that was a supporting cast member in that music video had come to you to ask to be in the video.
Yeah. Pretty much
you were like,
a lot of those videos.
This is what I'm doing. I think it's a little
I had to try to talk them out of it. Like, this is too crazy. This is not.
It just made them want to be in it more.
Yeah, and they killed it. Like,
and I was shocked the whole way through how just like, yeah, let's do this.
But every time,
almost pushing the envelope themselves, like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. And they're like, no, I'm doing it. Like, oh, okay.
And the funny thing is, I would show that to like really important people in whatever, producer or director, and they don't care about anything else. They're like, who's this girl? Who is that person? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It was funny. It was funny that it came together. The thing with Malice in the back of the van. That was Strati mentioned that. He goes, dude, you got to get Malice in there. And then I can't remember. Did he come up with the idea of me getting pegged in the back of that's where a lot of the views come from that video. People searching pegged.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Did you put that as a hashtag on there or something? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. So, God, that fucking video. I've talked about this before. Like when we finished making it, I was like, I've gone too far. I can't put this out.
I thought where we were making it, I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah, I'm going to get fucking.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm going to get I'm going to get crucified. And then I watched the documentary Deliver Us from Evil. And then I was like, nope, this needs to go out there. That movie's about the priest who's very candid about him molesting all these kids. Horrifying.
Yeah.
So that was an amazing music video to put together. And the funniest was that there's a scene where I'm doing a runway walk, and that my bedazzled, and so you were working on some ridiculous. We both were, right? You had me. I was like coordinating or something. Yeah. We worked on I can't remember what it was, but they had a runway. And I remember I went right when we had just finished with the wrap, I raced into the bathroom, put the outfit on, and people were trying to take the lights down and stuff. And we got a couple shots of me doing runway.
That's true. It was a commercial for a fashion thing, and Jeff was on there as a AD basically, and yeah, as at the end of the day, he ran out, put on his silver suit, and ran up there before the production designer and the art crew ripped the stage down.
Oh, that was good. And then we had like I was in the diapers running on the street.
Yeah.
The pickup truck, and I was running behind it.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, that was some good shots. There's a lot of really beautiful shots there. Another Julie Boleen location. She's the girl in the music video.
Who was driving for us?
I don't remember. Some friend of yours, I think they worked as like maybe a camera assistant or something, PA on something that you've done. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Or was it your neighbor? No. I don't remember. But we also used Julie Boleen's location. This is one of those moments where someone was going to be in the video and then they didn't show up, and then I did the Tai Chi stuff, which actually worked out. I didn't have a person there. We saw stuff at Julie Boleen is, if you watch the video where the priest is masturbating, she is the one reading the book, and she's an amazing tattoo artist. Yeah, that video. People really, really like that video.
That's probably my favorite moment in that whole video. It's the expression on her face during that situation, like really, really bored and just like totally unimpressed. The look on her face during that scene is
so good.
My favorite part of that video.
That's the ultimate like self-righteous, abusive male. with the cock that heals. Then we had, then we made the Good Life music video, which was
my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to put together. I got really skinny. I studied homeless people for months. I grew a beard out for like 8 or 9 months. I got Lainey made the teeth and got my makeup sorted out. I had to get those clothes figured out, dyeing them with tea. Got spray on dirt, and that was so much fun shooting that.
That was the most fun, probably, and the most creative, honestly, because we were just like really, really, really winging it.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I don't think anyone realized this. We are just in your vehicle, and we were finding locations on the fly, and then just jumping out and shooting. And it was as if we had this thing so like we had all these shots planned out or something. I mean, I had ideas of what I wanted to do, but it was kind of a like.
Well, I think the first thing we did was the thing that I became obsessed with. It's how you pitched it to me, as someone taking a shit at somebody's roof, and so I think that's the first thing we did. We went on the roof of my apartment building.
Yes.
And you pretended to shit, and from there, I think that was all we were going to do that day. That's all we had time for, and then you had mentioned something about someone walking between cars on the road.
Well, and I think we went out and shot stuff, and then we came back, and the traffic was so crazy. And I was like, we got to shoot this. And then because I have me marching down the middle of the road, because it doesn't usually happen that I know of it. There was like there was all that slow traffic on Franklin.
Oh, it's every day.
Oh, it is.
That happens every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had the Franklin March.
I remember it being just like, it was just like we were talking about it and what we were going to do. And all of a sudden we were like, look at all this traffic. Oh, Jeff, go down there and just walk through there. I'm going to film from here.
Yes. And I had to get to my underwear and shoot. So it's just it's so brilliant because people were so horrified. It was like I think like not that long ago, that might've been the time when the guy had the bath salts.
Yes.
Where he ate the person's face, and I think someone else jumped on someone's car, and I saw someone jump on someone's car, and then so people were like, the cars are all kind of like getting out of the way as I'm marching down.
It was amazing. I told you, I was like, go way down there and then just walk through. Just
and we did
down
it twice.
The middle of the street. Yeah. And it was. I wish people could share the live. I could share the live moment of that.
Yeah,
I'm looking through the camera. It was amazing because you could see the looks on people's faces because the makeup that Lainey did was so good and the costuming was so good. Like you absolutely looked like the real thing, and people were going, "Oh my god!"
Yes, folks, if you ever want to feel powerful, get some outfits, spray them down with there's fake dirt. Get your hair completely unkept, grow a beard out for a long time, and then go out there in the street and like a lunatic, and you'll never have felt so powerful in your life. People stay the fuck away from you. In between, one time we were shooting something. I remember going to a 7-Eleven. People were just, it was fucking great. And then we shot the humping on the car. Mm-hmm. That was great. Mm-hmm. That was.
Even better than that, though. You skipped a moment that came before that, which was we actually went downtown LA to Skid Row.
Yeah, that was intense.
And what was amazing was that this thing looked so real that even on the street, and I don't know who drove for us. Who drove for us that day?
Some guy, and
I think it was God, I don't remember.
I rented a Dodge Caravan.
Yep. Oh, really? Did we do that?
And we did it in the camera in the back.
Uh-huh. And
at the driver, I think was just everyone they were scared that they would see us filming.
So we got tinted windows.
Yeah.
So we were filming through tinted windows.
And they were driving so freaking fast, I couldn't keep up with the car. I'm just like, what are you slow down?
Well, there was traffic behind us, I think. But what was interesting is that you looked more homeless than the actual homeless people.
I was advanced homeless.
Oh my God. And you told me what they said when you were walking by. It's like, so it's like, who mangled you?
Who mangled you? It was fucking great.
Like homeless people were moving out of the way of you. You could see them. They're going, fuck, that guy is out of control. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, that guy's on one.
Yeah. Like, holy shit.
And I have these black contacts in my eyes, so my eyes look like they're super dilated.
Yeah.
Like full blown. This guy is
You
definitely.
did not look like a person that was safe to be around.
No danger. I was very feral.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Like, I think that's why we didn't run into any trouble anywhere, because even the cops were afraid to arrest you.
Yeah, I think when you had that crazy,
go.
no one wants to mess with that.
Yeah.
No one wants to touch it. People are like, that's a filth that I don't want.
Yeah. Just let that go.
Crazy.
It'll eventually filth itself out.
And then I got hired to shoot a friend's wedding in Big Sur. So we drove up there.
After that?
Well, it was during that period of time, yeah. Then we
wow.
we got the lenses. We rented lenses for the wedding, but then we were going to use them on the shoot.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, we had like the telephoto lens and some. So we drive all the way up to Big Sur. We get there like at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. We have to get up at 7 o'clock to start shooting. We shoot the whole wedding all until at night, like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Then we drive home that night, which is insane. And then maybe a couple hours of sleep. Then we went and shot the hump in the car. I can't believe we did all that. I mean, I was like completely so out of it.
Yeah.
But it was pretty legit for the character, because that guy would definitely be on no sleep. And yeah, that worked out well. The humping the car, and then there were some beautiful moments. Beautiful moments.
What was great about that, though, also, was the fact that I think for one of them, I was on a really long lens. And so cars around that intersection watched that, not knowing that we were filming something. Like, everybody thought that was real. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, there's a homeless guy humping somebody's windshield.
That would have been, the cameras weren't, people's phone, social media wouldn't have been set up yet to have, that would have been a viral situation.
Yeah, I know. I desperately want you to bring that character back to life, and then go out into the world now.
Yeah.
Because you would blow the fuck up.
Right? Oh, God, that guy was the best.
Yeah.
He
really was.
Ever.
He really was.
The best
That was
ever.
the best. And I get more comments on that thing than anything else. Like, everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, how did you do this? Like, this is crazy. And that was another thing. We just leaned into it. We were like, we picked our locations based on time of day and direction. We actually did some location scouting for that, I think, on the internet, basically.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this would be a perfect place for this, because we knew we had complete control and get away with stuff. Because there was the whole shopping cart pushing situation.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
We went to the
that was fun.
Hollywood. I was marched down Hollywood Boulevard in that shopping cart. Oh, the best is John figured out to put the camera on the end.
Oh, we rigged it into the shopping cart.
The shopping cart, and then we went to that parking structure right down here.
Yeah.
And those are some beautiful shots. Swinging that cart around.
Yeah.
That was
fun. That was a good time.
Oh my God, it was so much fun putting that together.
Who edited that one?
Bobby Hewitt, who's the master. There was like the time when the guy was selling CDs.
Yeah.
And so we had shots where I got the shots where it looks like I was buying drugs. Needed that. One of my favorite moments is when we were in the behind circle where they had their art studio.
Oh yeah.
And we were in that little short alleyway, and I kept trying to think, like, the character can't just be a lunatic, because it has to have some kind of humanity to it. And so, the creative gods, we were shooting a performance thing, and then that cat came in there, and it was like, at first I was like, oh, fuck, this cat. And I was like, wait a second. Then I was, smoking the meth pipe, petting the cat, and I'm like, oh, this is great. It gives the character a vulnerability, and it gives it humanity, and so you see that it's not just some maniac lunatic.
I totally forgot about that. Is the cat's in the video?
Yeah, it's literally the screenwriting book, Save the Cat.
Wow. The cat saved you from that dirty alleyway.
Yeah, that was great. And then the drummer for Tool, their studio is over there, their practice studio or something, in his studio. And so he came down the alleyway in his pickup truck while we were in the fucking homeless outfit. And just looking, we're like, that's the drummer that's Danny. That's the guy from Tool. And we're like, holy shit. As we were shooting this, I'm as a homeless person, and you're there with a camera and a tripod.
Like, hi, Mr. Carey.
Yeah, that was a funny moment. That was wonderful. We What else was there? There's so many details to that. That we had like at the laundromat. The best you gave me the direction where you said take your clothes off and start yelling at it.
Oh, at the the bus station.
That was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
yeah.
And then at the 7-Eleven, because if you're homeless, 7-Eleven, you're always going to end up at 7-Eleven. That's that is definitely a spot. That's a hangout.
Yeah, it's the Denny's of homeless.
Then I rented a party bus, got a bunch of people on there, and then we were going to shoot that. I remember didn't know where to put it. We were gonna park it in this like grocery store thing, and I don't think I could go up there. So then we ended up shooting it in like that in Kat Von D's parking lot.
Oh yeah.
We shot at the tattoo place.
Yeah.
And we shot that scene there. It really came together. So when we first, like, it's so much fun putting the videos together and then trying to edit it to get it so it's just perfect. And I remember when when it was finished and we finished editing, I remember watching it and thinking like, wow, this is really nailing it here. This really, and people loved it. And that was a real huge, that opened up a lot of opportunities for me.
Me too. That was strange. I didn't expect, like I always was thinking I was doing these for myself. Honestly, and you, like, just like we're just having fun and burning off time. And that one, actually, people contacted me regarding that.
Yeah.
For work.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, how did you do this? This is crazy. Like, holy shit. What was the budget of this?
Yeah, right?
That was a couple questions that I've gotten. Like,
I had a band.
I usually just say I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I do remember. I do know exactly what the budgets were. 100% zero.
Well, there was a little bit. I mean, there's probably a couple $1,000s paid in I had to get the teeth made.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
I had to
that's true.
Pay the editor on that one. There's like always little costs, but as far as there's little expenses. I remember like shooting the Cock That Heals, and I was driving down to that kid's. I was trying to edit it. My computer couldn't handle the red footage because it was too old. So I was that kid that helped us on a different project who lived down in like gangland. I can't remember. Was it Corey? I think his name was.
Yeah.
And so I'm driving to his place, and it is like so sketchy. I'm like, I'm gonna get killed. I went to his place I was like South Central, and I'm down there, and like I edited the first part of the Cock That Heals because I couldn't get the footage, and then Perry came in and helped edit.
Yeah.
Wow,
Corey made a really great short film that I shot a couple of years ago up in Northern California. Corey's doing great. You should have Corey on. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously Perry.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That guy was a great kid. Good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hooked him up with Ken.
Ken?
Those characters. The Savannah and Brandon.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
so I would get hired to direct terrible other things, and so I could help it go, help this move forward. And then the last music video that we shot was Multitude, which we shot here in this wonderful apartment, and that was I was trying to figure out like a perfect look for a midlife crisis, which would be a mullet. Because that's when I peaked when I was 16 years old, and you'd have to get back to that. And then, which is really funny because that music video was shot, and then I put it out a week before the quarantine, and then the Tiger King thing came out, and that guy has a mullet. And it was as if I perfectly planned this, as if I was some guy stuck at home, quarantine, and I shot this thing on myself or something.
Right.
So people really... seemed to really like the Multitude music video. That was fun. That was shot quickly. Some beautiful moments. I like the moment when the sun was going down, thrusting with the van.
That was a great beach.
Strong
moment. Look. Yeah, definitely.
The Multitude.
Emotional.
Yeah. That's all you need. If you get a mullet, your whole life will work out. Your whole life will come together.
Yeah.
So good.
A mullet and a jumpsuit.
A jumpsuit and a mullet and self-portrait of yourself, several of them, a pink couch, all the little details you need to have the art direction of your music video just kind of put together. But yeah, that music video came together. It was simple. We did your idea of using the multiple. We did the dry humping peeping Tom, which was a beautiful moment where I jump over the fence and it shows like me in the background humping it as I'm singing, as I'm doing the performance into the camera.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, yeah.
So if you're an artist and you're trying to figure out how to make a music video and stuff, there's a lot of tricks you can learn how to do. So a lot of times you'll play back the song and then you're kind of lip syncing to it. And usually when I was shooting these, I didn't know the lyric. I didn't know the song. Like I would go into the recording studio, would write this stuff, and then record it, and then I'd have to listen to the song and then write out the lyrics to figure out what the hell saying. Then I'd have to memorize it, and then so a lot of times I wouldn't have it memorized until maybe a little bit into the shooting the music video, which is kind of funny. And then, God, there's so much nonsense that goes into making a music video. It's so much work, but it's so much fun when it's completed. And I like the idea of the whole process of making it myself and putting it together. Do you have any standout moments of all of the nonsense we've made?
Standout moments. There's so many. I mean, I guess I would have to say like all of making The Good Life. Like I remember every moment of that because there were so many amazing moments. I was just like, I can't believe what we're doing right now. And it also came together very easily.
Yeah.
Like it just was like, despite the fact that we had no money and very little direction, it seemed like the universe bent to make everything just kind of go our way, which is
kind of happened on everything we shot though.
But yeah, I think that's because that's just the philosophy that we use. We knew that we were up against everything because we had no money. So we were just like, well, let's see what the world gives us, and we're gonna make the best of what it gives us, and that's probably why.
Like when we were doing The Cock That Heals, didn't you have like a camera from another job, a red camera? Where? Because we shot some of it on a red camera. And,
no, that was from my friend Vahe.
We rented it. That's right. That's right.
We rented that, or we got. I mean, he let us borrow.
Basically,
for one day.
But just like putting things together, scrambling around to try to make something work, and I think that's usually where some of the best stuff comes, opposed to conceptualizing these. I mean, if I had, the budgets to make some of the music videos that these people make today. And you see how terrible a lot of them are and unoriginal and uninspired. So if you need a music video made and you want one, a lovely music video, you can just contact me. And I'm pretty good at conceptualizing original concepts, and we're pretty good at executing them as well. Hopefully evolve into making white exploitation films. If you're out there and you are a wealthy person and you like to laugh your ass off and you want to have some fun, we can make a lovely film for you. I have numerous character stories that should be made into feature films. I'm hoping to get John on board to make the next greatest music video, which is the Silicone Wave, which will be starring Stacy back there. See, folks, a lot of times I don't know how I'm going to get there. I have to get my props together first. I got to try to get John on board. He's got a very busy schedule, and I have to try to lure him into the madness of doing all this. I got all my money tied up in jumpsuits and wallpaper and a love doll, and I need your money. So please join the Patreon. It's like a telethon constantly.
Oh my God.
Just send your money in if you could to kind of keep the lights on here. I know that no one has a job and everyone's on the street, but before you off yourself or anybody else, send in your money to the Jeff Hilliard show. God. That's terrible. We'll make something lovely for it. So,
by the way, I love your T-shirt.
Yeah, this is good.
It's pretty good. I told you about that book that I read over quarantine.
The CIA.
Chaos. Yeah. Chaos. Who's the author of Chaos? That is one hell of a book. Yeah,
CIA
it's all about
is behind
um,
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. Gosh.
Which is kind of, I've said this a few times to some friends of mine. It's sad that
Tom O'Neill.
Tom O'Neill, yeah.
Really good book.
That he passed away before now because he could almost see like his dream of having a race war. Like it seems like the world has tried so hard. If he could at least seen the riots after like all that sort of stuff, he would have been very happy. No one else is.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah, he's just a petty car thief. That was his thing.
Well, his spirit, I think, might have jumped into somebody over at the White House.
Yeah, yeah. I think Donald Trump is channeling Charles Manson.
I think so.
Just kind of slowly. I mean, I don't.
Basically,
terrible.
the same haircut, just swooped over the top.
Yeah. What is going? I mean, he is a perfect clown.
Yeah.
He's like the orange. The whole thing is like he's the perfect guy for the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I said that before he got elected. I go, that guy's the right guy for the apocalypse.
He reminds me of that big giant thing in Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Yeah. This computer simulation has layers to it. I mean, it is really detailed.
It does.
Very detailed. So get out there and vote.
Our collective hallucination is really crazy right now.
Yeah, when you come out, we're all on a spaceship, or I mean, I guess I'm on a spaceship, or you're on a spaceship, and you're imagining all this, and you're like, wow, that's what it was like being a human. It's pretty good. Need to make Dry Humping Peeping Tom the film. It needs to happen.
That was the greatest moment that now I remember. Was the first time that you laid down on the front lawn of my friend Greg's house, had humped. Yeah, in your khakis and blue button down and dry humped a teddy bear.
Cars driving by.
I was like, yeah, cars driving by. Jody Broadhurst standing on the driveway, and we're watching you do this. And I was like, I made it. I made it. Finally.
I just remember cars going by, and it's going really slow, just like taking it in. What the fuck is this guy doing? We have these lights.
What is happening right now? That really is one of the greatest moments in all of movie. I think that's why I think it should be a movie for sure.
It needs to be a film.
Like that's something that
we should.
One of those moments. I want to see that little clip of that on one of those montages they do before the Academy Awards, where they're like, "Look at all these great things that happened this year," and then it goes from like wonderful, beautiful people running on the beach at sunset, and then someone else, like an actress, just delivering an amazing performance, a tear running down her cheek.
Yeah.
And then cut to you in khakis.
Yeah.
Dry humping a bear on the
We need to outline that and just do it as like an ultra low budget film. This is a white exploitation films that need to be made right now. Mm-hmm. This is film producers. Come on, let's get this together. You're trying to figure out how you're going to make your original movie that someone's going to see. Well, obviously, here it is. The Dry Humping Peeping Tom is ready to go. You have a cinematographer and a performer / director / art director. We're doing every single role, for fuck's sake. We don't even need a crew. Just your money for locations. This is my whole life. It's like I have a telethon where I'm just constantly.
Yeah, I know.
Send in your money.
You're like a telemarketer without a phone.
That's what. Yeah, it's going to evolve into that. That's what people do in Hollywood. Is you try to put together money to make these creative projects. That's what people do. I haven't figured that out so well. I figured out how to work a bunch of terrible jobs, and then take all those resources and then put myself into these situations. But what else am I going to do?
I don't know.
What advice would you give to young, aspiring cinematographers?
Find someone that you can shoot with, like a ton of stuff, where it doesn't matter. Like you can let go of your desire to make it awesome. Because what's amazing is that as soon as you let go of the desire or like the fear of fucking it up, that's when great shit happens.
Yeah, you gotta take
like
chances.
As soon as you let go of your control over things, that's when good stuff happens.
Yeah.
That's when you learn the most. That's when you shoot the best stuff. When you're just like, fuck it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we've shot some crazy stuff, and I made you guys make that one music video with the older lady.
Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was for a different band. That was just something you directed.
Yeah.
for a different band.
That someone was determined to make the most out of control offensive. He was obsessed with the cock that heals, and he wanted to do something completely
he
crazy.
wanted to jump the shark.
Yeah, jumping
And
the
he did,
shark.
and you talked him into it. Like,
Well,
that's
I
how
mean,
you take it over.
he was persistent.
That was amazing.
There were some really amazing moments.
It really was.
Yeah. It was a music video called Power. Johnny Skull's music video. The song was Power. God, that was crazy. Then we shot on that green screen.
And I met, I think I met my gaffer. It was a long time now that I work with him.
On
He
that?
does all my all commercials, all music videos, like everything. We work together on so many things,
What a
on feature films. And that was the first job we worked on together. And that, again, was a very small crew. And I remember he and the other crew members, I think I forgot to warn them what they were walking into. I think I was like, "What?" I think I'm like, "Listen, this is gonna be crazy."
So this music video, I have like a 70-some-year-old lady.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The artist wanted to do something extremely provocative. I thought this guy, let's say, was a detective, but he was addicted to smoking crack, and he had a fetish where he'd like to get in a diaper, and he liked to have like an older prostitute, which is like in her 70s. And then so she shows up to the job, but she's got like her grandson, but she couldn't find a babysitter. And so he goes into, which is Travis Barker's son, Shannon Moakler's son, Landon, who's now a successful artist. Lovely, lovely music video. We've done a lot of stuff. A lot of craziness. We did it. Is there anything else we should talk about?
No.
Yeah, so this was for all of you, like the real fans, and you're probably only the people watching this if you're into all the other stuff I've done. So this is my fucking secret weapon. He's my Keith Richards. He is my long-term collaborator and dear friend. And if you're a director out there and you want to make a badass film, commercial, or music video, yes, I know all you motherfuckers that have poached my cinematographer. I know who you are. I've witnessed it. No, John's brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for the years of friendship and some of my best memories I could ever have.
Oh, thank you.
John's the best.
Yeah, you saved my life.
You saved mine. And I can only look back at all these fucking crazy videos, and they've just been like, this is what life was all about, folks. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Make white exploitation songs and videos. All right. Tell your friends about the show. Send it to people. Write the comments and reviews. Engagement. All of that is helpful. Love you all. Thank you so much.